My name is Rachel.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm James.
Hi, I'm Bella.
And together, we built the iOS app, Meme What You Say. Meme What You Say is a fun, real-time, multiplayer game that you can play with your friends and family. The idea for the app came about as we discussed the games we played with our families during lockdowns due to the pandemic. We found that we all enjoyed playing games in our spare time, and so we built the app as a way to connect with friends and family whom we are unable to see in person at the moment. Meme What You Say is a game for ages 8 and above that challenges players to come up with their own funny captions for popular memes. After each round, players are shown each caption and are asked to vote for their favorite one. A leaderboard then shows how many votes each player received during the round. When the game is over, the winner or winners are declared. And now, Tom will take you on a walkthrough of the game.
Thanks, Rachel. On opening the game, the user is presented with a simple but eye-catching design. They can firstly familiarise themselves with the rules before moving on. To begin a game, one player will need to host and invite their friends. The host enters a name and the number of rounds to be played. This is a great time to show you some of the error handling we put into the app in order to make the user experience more enjoyable. If I were to try and start a game without entering a name, an alert will pop up instructing me to think again. These alerts are carried throughout. At any point, a potential issue might arise. This could range from entering the wrong details or entering nothing at all, to trying to join a game that has already begun. Through rigorous testing and trial runs, we were able to preempt and stop problems arising for the user. Once a game is created, a player is entered into the game lobby. At this point, the host can send out a randomly generated 6-letter code to their friends. All they have to do is press join game and enter a name for themselves along with the code sent from the host. Once the correct details have been entered, they are also added to the game lobby with real-time updates. If the game lobby is populated by 3 or more users, a button appears for the host, allowing them to start the game. Each lobby has an 8-player limit. If someone else tries to join when there is no more room, you guessed it, an alert will appear telling them that they need to start a new lobby. When the host starts a game, it triggers a change in the database, meaning that no other user can join. In real time, all players are taken to the first round screen, where they are given their first meme that we'll have to write the wittiest caption for. The order of the memes are decided randomly, but stay consistent for all players in the lobby. Typing and submitting an answer will take the player to a new real-time game lobby that shows how many users have pressed submit. Once all answers have been collected, the host can move the group along to see everybody's captions. Each player's answers fly onto the screen, one after another, before automatically moving on to the voting page. Here, the user votes for the funniest caption. Fortunately for me, not able to vote for yourself. After voting, players are moved on automatically to the round leaderboard. This is the sum of votes for that specific round. As the votes come in, the leaderboard automatically ranks and updates in real time. Once all the results are in, the game waits for a few seconds before moving on to the overall leaderboard, the total sum of votes. After a few rounds, this final leaderboard really begins to take shape. Once all the rounds have been played and all the votes have been tallied, a button will appear for the host, allowing them to move the game on to the final stage, crowning a winner. If there is an outright winner, they will appear on their own, but if multiple players finish joint top, they will all be crowned Meme What You Say champions. The last thing to do is go back to the homepage in order to play again. Next up, Bella will talk you through the tech used in building this app and why we chose it.
Thank you, Tom. During our initial spiking phase, we looked into using Sockets.io to provide the multiplayer aspect and real-time updates for the back end of our app. However, after further research, we found that Cloud Firestore provided by Firebase met all of our needs as it is designed to make simple fetch queries efficiently, as well as using data synchronization to update data on connected devices, allowing for a multiplayer game. Placing listeners on the Firestore database enabled us to update answers and scores in real time, We wrote our own functions that would read, write to and update data in the database, and we also used cloud storage in Firebase to store all of the images needed for our game. Since Firebase has the capacity to handle nearly all of our backend requirements, the only other tech we needed was a framework to test our utility functions. For this, we used Jest as we were already very familiar with it. Because we were interested in app development and wanted to create a game that users could easily play on a phone, we used React Native and Expo to build our front end. We chose to focus on one platform initially so that we could make the best possible product in the given time frame, choosing iOS since we all own iOS devices, making testing the app much simpler. But we built the app in React Native so that in the future we would be able to utilise its cross-platform functionality and deploy to Android with minimal adjustments to our code. Using React Native, we created different screens and several custom components that could be used throughout the app, and we navigated through the app using stack navigation. We also used Expo as it enabled us to get up and running with React Native much faster, given the challenge of learning a new technology in a small time frame. It gave us instant feedback on changes to the code and allowed several of us to test the multiplayer aspect of the game. Now I'm going to hand you over to James, who's going to tell you about some of the challenges we faced.
Thanks, Bella. One of the main challenges on this project was also one of its greatest draws, the use of exciting new technology. Both React Native and Firebase were new to us, as were non-relational databases such as Firestore, so we spiked these out in the first week to assess their suitability and compatibility. Mob programming was useful at this stage to gain confidence as a team, and we also used pair programming throughout. Whilst we had experience of React for Web, React Native differs in significant ways. As well as a new syntax, it required us to learn a new stack-based navigation system. Unlike their web-based counterparts, these mobile screen components don't unmount when you leave them. So rather than build up a stack of continuously running screens, which could lead to conflicts, we refactored to replace pages on the stack instead. Probably the greatest challenge, however, arose from the real-time nature of the game and its need for numerous asynchronous calls to the database. Both state and page rendering had to be carefully managed to avoid loading issues, as did the storage of information between rounds to ensure there were no conflicts. Moving all players to the next screen in unison was another hurdle, requiring the use of database listeners to manage navigation centrally. During the planning stage, we were careful to keep our MVP realistic for our time frame. However, we believe our app has great potential for future development. Whilst it was the right call to focus on iOS for our MVP, expanding the app to Android would be an exciting next step. We could also implement a countdown timer to add more drama to the writing of captions, or provide multiple card packs for greater variety, even the ability to access the phone's camera and picture library so players could supply their own memes. At the moment, players sign in as guests with temporary usernames, but in the future we would look to add user authentication, along with integration with their social media, allowing them to share their favourite memes with their friends at the press of a button. Nonetheless, we're incredibly proud of what we've achieved with Meme What You Say, and feel far more confident tackling new technologies and challenges as a result. Thank you for watching.